I can't imagine anything worse for a parent than losing a child. If that grief is compounded with the knowledge that it could have been prevented, if only that parent had had resources, information, knowledge. Babies are dying. It's imperative that we get that information and those resources to all of our families in the Bootheel.
I believe that most of the people in the Bootheel are aware that infant mortality is a problem. People think when we lose a baby that, oh, that's so sad, but I don't think that they know on the grand scale how many babies we lose every year and how it impacts our community.
One of the reasons this whole initiative is important to me is that infant mortality is an indicator of how the health is of your community as a whole. So the fact that infant mortality rate is high in the Bootheel is also a warning to us that we have other health issues in the community that we need to be addressing.
Our focus at Project WIN is working with women who are pregnant or postpartum that are at risk of substance use. But we do have a nurse care manager. We make sure that they have that individual session, where we've covered safe sleep, the dangers even after the baby's here of tobacco use and, asthma, different things, ear infections that it can cause on the newborn. We have one OBGYN in Kennett. Pemiscot County has none. We have had some that come in and have not seen the doctor and they're 6 months pregnant, 7 months pregnant. So that's immediately something we want to get in that prenatal care from the get-go. And some of that might be if they have substance use issues, they're not, not going to the doctor. So there's lots of different needs and things you have to address from, resulting kind of from the intake when they come in.
I looked to develop a team who could work with the young ladies and who had the ability to really communicate with them. So our focus was on the total person. What would be their needs? We have individual counseling, we have the peer specialist who has been through the issues and problems and can really talk to them and walk the walk with them.
We became involved with Bootheel Babies and Families and the fight against infant mortality because we are a regional service institution. We realized that there were lots of great educational tools that were available to work with youth particularly for pregnancy prevention and education, but that cost was often a barrier. And so we wanted to remove as many barriers as we could from our school districts, our libraries, our Girl Scout troops, churches, anyone who might be interested in helping to partner in the fight against infant mortality, especially as it pertained to youth outreach. We wanted to give them tools and educational assistance to be able to undertake those initiatives on their own.
Pemiscot County is the highest in infant mortality rate in the state of Missouri. We have provided so many resources for all of our families. It's been a blessing to me to be able to help these families.
So the Right From the Start program operates in New Madrid, Mississippi and Scott County, and we provide parenting education, safe sleep services, safe sleep survival kits to the families throughout those counties. Our focus is to make sure that children under the age of 1 are sleeping in their own safe bed and that they have all the necessary tools and education to go along with that to help reduce infant mortality.
I think the biggest success is kind of making families feel comfortable with receiving those resources. A big misconception, especially in our area, is that there's always an exception to every resource. People think that you always have to meet some kind of income standard, you have to meet some specific types of qualifications. That as far as who we deliver Pack and Place to, it's very broad. You know, we're here to help as many families as we can. So the more people we can work with, the better. I know that whenever I bring the cribs and the Pack and Plays, families are so thankful because it is a real concern for a lot of families, especially in our area, that they're not going to have a place for their child to sleep. And so I really feel like, you know, we're changing lives and people are starting to realize like it's okay to ask for help because eventually, you know, in our area, we have a lot of great things to offer.
We became involved with Bootheel Babies and Families back in 2014 when we were awarded a grant through Missouri Foundation for Health. The Foundation's Mother to Mother program is an incentive-based mentoring program for young moms and their families who live in Stoddard County. A big part of our Mother to Mother program is the parent education that we do. And we call them Healthy Families, and we have 6 topics, and that includes safe sleep, period of purple crying, which is to avoid shaken baby.
Mother to Mother is only in Stoddard County, but with this grant we've been able to go into Dunklin County and Pemiscot County with the educational part of our program. And we're hoping to provide education for parents that maybe didn't have access to that before.
With Mother to Mother, our biggest success, I think, has been all of the moms who have gone through the program, who are teachers, who are nurses, good paying jobs, and who are good moms.
We collaborated with Missouri Delta Hospital as well as Twin Rivers Hospital. We also brought on board the 6 county health departments. So our project was geared to introduce the baby box nets into the Bootheel communities in hopes that they would reduce the infant mortality rate due to unsafe sleep surfaces. We introduced the boxes through the maternity wards, and any woman that had a zip code of a Bootheel area that was actually physically located in the Bootheel, they received a baby boxinette as well as some other items within the boxinette. With this project, the baby boxinette was a huge focus to be able to prove if not, they were going to be safe. But not only was it about the baby boxinette, it was more so about the education of safe sleep. So this boxinette is more so just a driver for that education. One thing that we have been able to prove is that women are learning. You know, education is key to any success.
This part of our program was to increase breastfeeding awareness in our area and to the patients that we provide. And through that grant, we have been able to add a lactation consultant to our staff, as well as send 2 additional staff to become counselors and improve our staff education, provide additional education to patients. And we also collaborated with the Scott County, Mississippi County, and New Madrid County health departments to purchase them a breast pump to start a lending library for patients and clients in their areas as well. Our program has influenced and changed lives of our moms and babies due to the bonding process and better outcomes for mom and baby.
When you do the research, the infant mortality rate in the Bootheel is extremely high, and it's been high for far too long.
So in those 3 years, we've moved that number down to 8.4, and our goal is that it would be 7.2 by 2022. Personally, the goal is that no baby dies. Nobody should ever have to explain why they don't have all their children surrounding them or what happened to a baby. They should never have to talk about that. Children should not die before their parents do.
What we are learning as we take this journey together is that each of us is going to play a cumulative role.
I think the biggest success would be the collaborations and pushing forward on something that everyone's very passionate about.
Bootheel Babies and Families, the education and the resources that they have been able to supply us, it's amazing.
No, I would just like to inspire people to come and join our organization because I think that every person can make a difference.
you.